So, people are watching, not just because of one person. All right, but they're watching because of me too. Me too. They're playing at LSU. There are people right now, her fans. You know what? Her social media.
Angel Reese attempted to throw a party, but forgot to invite the guests. Empty seats, discounted tickets, and still, no one showed up. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark made her return like Beyoncé on tour, selling out a 15,000-seat arena in Reese, Iowa, with fans dropping $670 just for a chance to be in her presence. Yes, folks, the Caitlin Clark effect is back, and it's bigger than your uncle's midlife crisis and new Corvette. Get ready. This next level is so wild that even Angel's scoreboard didn't make an appearance.
The Chicago Sky went to LSU and played in a half-empty building. They not only had Angel Reese, they also had Haley Van Lith. They had two players from LSU, but one, largely Angel Reese, who is supposedly so unbelievably beloved in Baton Rouge that you would think that her return to LSU would fill the building.
Caitlin Clark is back, and now every scoreboard in women's basketball is just a fan thermometer for her. She steps on the court, and the arena sells out before her first breath. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was hoping her preseason game would at least outdraw a third-grade recital. Spoiler, it didn't.
Guys, today, Angel Reese, girl, you're my angel, you're my darling. Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're gonna get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar.
Oh yes, the showdown that wasn't. Angel Reese stepped into her preseason debut expecting a red carpet, only to find it stuffed in the ceiling of a half-empty gym. Tickets were practically free. You could have bought one with 2 buttons and a juice box, and they still had extras. At this point, even a meet and greet wouldn't have drawn a crowd. People would have rather been stuck in traffic.
I've tried to tell you guys, you heard me say it on this channel. A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night without a shadow of a doubt. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. You might be like, well, Rhodes, what was so...
But Caitlin Clark, she sneezes, and Iowa fans build a stadium around it. She could host a pickup game in a cornfield, and ESPN would air it. When she returned to Iowa to face Brazil, it was an event. The Poke gets fewer attendees. Tickets started at $670, about the price of a kidney, yet fans gladly paid it. Some didn't even get in. They just stood outside, hoping to hear her dribble.
Ever again anyone ever tell me that there's anyone that's like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. I don't ever want to hear it again. Nobody. There is nobody like her. I'm not glazing her. I'm telling the truth. I'm not blowing her. I'm telling the truth. She drew over 16,000 people to watch her team play the Brazilian national team at Iowa. Tickets were going for over $600 per the broadcast on the third-party market. The tickets sold out in the blink of an eye. People keep telling us there are other people in the WNBA who have made it matter. People keep telling us there are other players who are so very, very loved.
The contrast is striking. One player is basketball's version of Coachella, while the other is a local garage band hoping to play during happy hour at Applebee's. Angel Reese's preseason game was so empty, you could have had a family reunion in the bleachers and still had space for a dance floor. Someone tried to start a wave, but it ended with a solo arm stretch. Then there's Caitlin Clark, whose effect is stronger than gravity. Remember when she packed arenas like it was the Super Bowl, even on a Tuesday against Wisconsin? That's not fading, it's evolving. Now, it's not just about her playing, it's about being near her. Meanwhile, Angel's hoping someone recognizes her at Target.
Embarrassing. What was so embarrassing? How about this? Caitlin Clark, Soldier. Go follow. right here. This was last night's attendance. 6,373 fans showed up to watch Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith. And by the way, she did get a very good.
People camped outside the arena for days just to watch Caitlin Clark play against Brazil, a team most of the crowd probably couldn't find on a map. Did anyone care? Absolutely not. It could have been Brazil, Belarus, or Dancing with the Stars. As long as Clark was playing, that court was selling out faster than a Taylor Swift concert. Caitlin could have played against inflatable tube men from a car dealership, and the arena would still be packed. One fan even bought a ticket just to hear the squeak of her sneakers on the floor. This isn't just a basketball game, it's a cultural phenomenon. Caitlin Clark didn't just level up the game, she became the level.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover that is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And again, the reason why we've got Haley Van Lith up is because it was Haley Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had two players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200.
But here's Angel, acting like the court is her TikTok feed and a Fashion Week runway. Sweetheart, this isn't Paris Fashion Week. It's the WNBA. Fans want to see Caitlin Clark drop dimes and hit logo threes, not just bucket hats and sponsored posts. You'd think Angel would get it, especially with an empty arena while Clark plays to a sold-out crowd. But nope, Angel's still moving like the star of a sports drama, except it's more love and bench ball than love and basketball.
Oh my goodness, generational, oh my goodness, so on and so forth. You guys do all the talking, all the yapping, Twitter fingers turn to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,373 people. 6,373 people. This is an arena that holds 13,000 people. We have a CBA negotiation.
Right, so let's run it back. This is the line. This is Scott Agnes. He put pictures up. This is the line from outside the arena to get in for this game. People were, and Caitlin Clark pointed this out in an interview with Holly Rowe, people were tailgating out there like it was the NFL to get in to this arena. We've got more on that. There's Caitlin Clark right there.
This isn't a blockbuster. It's a low-budget indie film that got a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes and made less than a third grader's lemonade stand on a rainy day. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's playing like she's headlining the summer's biggest hit, while Angel's waiting for someone to buy a ticket to her flop. If ticket prices are low enough to compete with vending machine snacks and still nobody shows, that's not a preseason game. It's a rehearsal for disappointment. You could almost hear the arena asking, "Where's everybody?" Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's fans were creating Beatlemania, while Angel's crowd was 5 people, one a janitor, 2 parents, and one who was lost. Then, with Clark's return, there's a stampede outside like Beyoncé and Taylor Swift decided to play halftime together.
It's completely sold out. This is what the arena looked like last night to watch LSU. They didn't open the upper bowl. They did not open the upper bowl, and the lower bowl was half empty. It was at under 50% capacity. And obviously, look, the area of the crowd where the TV cameras are being shown was full. But it was under 50% capacity.
To Angel's credit, actually, let's not. There's only so many participation trophies before it becomes a pity parade. At some point, it's about performance, not just potential. Caitlin Clark doesn't just play the game. She dominates it. Angel Reese, on the other hand, has the pull of an unplugged magnet. It's not that she's not talented. It's that talent without traction is just a warm-up act. Caitlin's resale tickets were going for $700. with people skipping rent just to see her play.
Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else, and anyone saying otherwise is lying to themselves. You see it on display as she was finally back on the basketball court. It has been a long time.
On the other hand, Angel's tickets were so cheap you could have gotten a front row seat with a Subway punch card, yet the arena still felt empty. Caitlin has pull. She's printing it, while Angel's still looking for the ATM. When Caitlin steps on the court, it's a symphony. Every dribble, a beat. Every three-pointer, the crescendo. Fans lose it over warm-ups. The building buzzes even before she checks in. When she pulls up from 30 feet, the place erupts. It's seismic. Every shot is a moment of awe. She's the storm and the spotlight.
Oh, how much they're fans of Angel Reese. They won't put their money where their mouth is, a running theme with the Reese's pieces. And LSU, this person perfectly. LSU, I'm calling y'all out. Angel Reese is back at home, and that should have been a sold-out arena. No excuse.
If you had any questions or any doubts as to who Caitlin Clark was, you hopefully had them answered today. If you watched yesterday,
I just couldn't. So this is what an actual crowd looks like. Chloe Peterson put this up. That is a sold-out arena. 14,998 people. That's all it could hold. They all showed up.